Greetings fellas, welcome back to my guide videos. The last Kafka guide I made is a pure debuffer defense down build, and this build is very high investment build, and in case you don't have a Pela or a Sampo and you need a defense down character, then Kafka actually is a really good substitute character for that. However, Kafka is definitely more capable than that, and today the main DPS build. So this means her signature light cone from resolution shines as pearl of sweat to patience is all you need, which is the signature light cone for the damage dealing. So this light cone is really the best light cone for DoT DPS, and this means that you get a speed increase by X amount of percentage for up to 3 times, and this is a permanent increase. Also, the damage dealt is permanent. So this means that if all your erodes land on your targets, and also let's say if any enemy does not have erode, they will get the erode status, and this means they are considered shocked. So that means all shocked enemies, whether from erode or from the skill or ultimate or technique, will also get affected by the damage dealt increase. So this light cone is really synergetic for Kafka's playstyle. Also, she will do 60% of lightning dot from the erodes. So very good DPS light cones. For the traces, 5 out of 5 stars selection for me. However, it is better that Kafka gets defense instead of HP, because defense skills higher in the survivability department. And regarding effect hit rate, you will only need 28% effect hit rate for a guaranteed shock status on enemies who have 40% effect rest. So this means that you might or might not need to unlock this last effect hit rate boost here, depending on your relic substats. However, for me, in my case, I have 25% effect hit rate, and therefore I need to unlock this start bonus here. But let's say if I'm farming my relics again, and for whatever reason I got the extra 3% effect hit rate, then I don't need to unlock this start bonus here. So maximum of 28% effect hit rate is good. And for this, you will need to definitely unlock taunts, which will help you save a lot of effect hit rate on your relic substats. And this allows you to build onto more defensive stats such as defense and HP more freely. So this is why this bonus ability is really strong. So for torture, when the ultimate is used, enemy targets now receive damage immediately from all currently applied DoT sources. So this means that let's say you have Asta, let's say you have Sampo who can burn targets or even hook, and the upcoming Goinaifen. So this means that Kafka is able to benefit from all of this from using her ultimate. Well done. Plunder. If an enemy is defeated while shocked, Kafka additionally regenerates 5 energy. So this means that it is easier for you to get your ultimates on time and effectively deal more damage in the long run. Okay, so that is really good, but do make sure that your enemies will be killed by the shock status instead of any other DoT sources for this bonus ability to be at max effect. So ultimate is basically now triggering all the other DoT sources here, so very strong, and definitely applying shock state also. But then still the best and most optimal way is you land shock debuff on enemies first before you use your ultimate. So if you find that your skill is too expensive for that, you can even use basic attack. That's totally fine, because don't forget that you can apply shock via your patience is all you need. So this is very strong. Basic attack is just there to apply the extra erode for the ultimate. However, if your enemies are not shocked and you have like 3 or more, then it is better for you to use skill before you use your ultimate. So that is where the energy problem and skill point management kind of trades off here. However, you have to understand and keep in mind that ultimate also applies the shock status, but the fact is that the damage from the ultimate takes precedence before the shock status application, so it's still better for you to use your skill or basic attack first before using your ultimate. Okay, for talent. Now this is really disgusting. So basically any ally uses a basic attack and then Kafka will apply shock status to the enemy of an ally's basic target choice. So extra shocks. And imagine if you have resolution shines as Pearl of Sweat, extra defense down. Beautiful. This talent here is very disgusting. But still, ultimate, talent, and skill are going to be your most damaging sources in the build. So this means that your priority should be ultimate, then skill, then talent, then basic attack. But you can leave the basic attack unleveled, that's totally fine. So you've got attack traces here, very strong here. So this boosts the DoT DPS here, very well done. And extra effect hit rate, which I discussed earlier with your relic substats, whether it's needed or not. Overall, the traces, quality, and selection, 5 out of 5 stars from me. Even though there's HP instead of defense, still 5 out of 5 stars. Then the relic choices, quite interesting. Now this is going to be a very controversial take, but speed is significantly worse than attack, and I will explain why later. But right now, you will be running attack boots, attack body, lightning damage boost, and an attack rope. Now I haven't tried a crit rate build yet, so this crit rate build was with Tingyun, Bronya, Kafka, and Lorcha. I haven't tested this build yet, but I will test it soon and let you know the results. However, I've been testing attack on 3 slots, and so far Kafka is getting 4.1k, 4.2k attack, and that is really good. So she's doing around 80 to 100k damage depending on the supports that you choose. So very strong here. And this damage is in reference to E0, by the way. Very strong. So then her best 4-piece here will be Band of Sizzling Thunder. You can even use Musketeer of Wildweed and Band of Sizzling Thunder in case you need to trigger your ultimate like really early. However, for the end game purposes, Band of Sizzling Thunder 4-piece set is still the best choice since Kafka is using skill all the time, by the way. And then her Space Sealing Station here, make sure that you get Kafka to 120 speed. However, Kafka at 110 speed is okay unless you have E1 Tingyun and a signature like Cone Lorcha, then you're pretty set to have Kafka at 110 speed, and that's totally fine, or 108 speed in other people's cases. In this battle replay here, Kafka doesn't need to use speed boots at all, and she's still able to get over 134 speed. The reason why is because Lorcha is having his signature Light Cone with 12 speed on S1 or 14 speed on S2 upon using ultimate. Tingyun having E1, so this means that when the target with Benediction uses an ultimate, they will get a speed bonus. And this is exactly why this is happening. And also Kafka is having her signature Light Cone at S1, so she's getting a speed increase. And as you can see from the speed buff, she is getting 14 speed from Lorcha's bonus, and also the speed boost from her signature Light Cone. So now let's try to do this. And now let's check the speed again. Now Kafka is at 100 plus 58. This is due to Tingyun's E1 activating. And this is with Tingyun's E1 still activated, but then Lorcha has no ultimate enabled. So if I do an ultimate here, Kafka is able to get back her speed. But then again, you don't need so much speed on the Kafka. 110 speed is good enough, in my honest opinion. And as you can see, with an attack boot, she's doing so much damage, even with a level 20 sample. So this is just a proof that I'm trying to make. Here, my sample is level 20, and my Kafka is at max level with the level 5 skill, level 8 ultimate, and the main proof here is that she's running an attack boot, not a speed boot. So this is why speed boot is actually not good for Kafka. So for Memory of Chaos teams, we have the usual build here. So Asta applies Burn, Tingyun can apply Shock to weakness broken enemies, as well as increasing speed via E1, Asta increasing speed via her ultimate, and also both of them applying attack up to Kafka, and Kafka can definitely reach over 200 speed, so definitely this team can work. Other teams can include Sampo and let's say Bronya, or can also include Sampo and Tingyun. So many options here. Sampo, Pela here, also very good. Very good options. That's why Kafka is very friendly for free-to-play players, and I can understand why. Also, you can also do a Bronya Tingyun here. I've already tried this team. Oh, it works really well. So these are the few teams that I have tried. But somehow, Silver Wolf is only directed to boss DPS only. But if you're going to be using Silver Wolf for like those ads and trash mobs, then Silver Wolf is not a good option. However, Silver Wolf is only good against single target and boss DPS. So keep that in mind. And also, for the healer wise, you can also use Natasha if in case you need Locha for another team, and in case you need to go Daredevil mode, then Natasha can actually work. Or you can use Japat and let's say Natasha in case you are feeling skeptical that your Kafka won't survive, because then again Kafka will be stacking so much attack, so she will lack a lot of defensive stats like HP, defense, and most of her stats will definitely go to either attack and speed or even some amounts of effect hit rate. So then again, Kafka can be quite frail like Sele. That's the problem here. But a lot of team choices you can use. You can even use like, for example, Kafka, Luca, Serval. There's so many combos to choose from. Like, even a team like this is totally fine. Anything that applies DoT, anything that applies vulnerability, defense down, that are your basic Kafka teams again. So I hope this guide has definitely helped you, and I'll see you again for the next guide, which will be either Tanheng or Fushuan or even Lynx. Cheers!